What's up you guys, and welcome back to another Reddit reading video. Like always, I have to blab my big mouth before the video starts. I'm sorry if you guys hear a little bit of rain and just a tiny bit of thunder. It's raining outside, and I don't have a choice. I have to record right now. But today we're going to be doing another Ask Reddit because our last Ask Reddit, I was complaining about how they don't usually do so good. But guess what? It did alright, so here we go. Ask Reddit is a place to ask and answer thought-provoking questions. Today our question is, what's something most people thought you were lying about, but it's 100% true? My parents bought me an electric scooter when I was 12 years old that maxed out at like 18 miles per hour. One day I was ran around my neighborhood through the park. I lived across the street, and I stopped to get some water. A slightly overweight, physically disabled man rose up with me in an electric chair and kindly asked about my scooter. I tell him how fast it goes and that it maneuvered pretty well. He then proceeds to ask me if I wanted to race him in his wheelchair down the street. Well, being an overly cautious kid, I thought it would be weird and he might be trying to lure me away from public vision. So I politely declined, and he said I was going to head home for the day to eat lunch. The man chuckles, reversed away from facing me, and kind of gives me the look saying, "Good call." He straightened his wheelchair out into the path, said something along the lines of, "No worries, have a good day. Be safe." And I cannot exaggerate this enough. Takes off in his electric wheelchair, accelerating to at least 25 to 30 miles per hour, substantially faster than my scooter could have handled, and rides away down the block. My jaw dropped. I laughed the entire ride home. I'll never forget that day. I thought I was gonna get kidnapped. Instead, I watched a disabled man in a wheelchair take off like a roadrunner, fading into the sunset, never to be seen again. That was probably a really awesome experience. Honestly, as a kid, I was more responsible. I probably would have raced him and lost. True, it does sound unbelievable, but if that's true, that's hilarious. As a preteen, our computer was on the top floor of the house. I just got done playing Command & Conquer and was shutting off the computer, and my mother was walking up the stairs behind me. She presumed I was looking at porn, trying to shut off the computer quick. Banned from the computer for a while. It was moved to the living room and was given talking to by both parents. I did nothing wrong. This just reminded me of an old boss. In a place I used to work, I was in and out of the office a lot to put things up or to get things. At a certain point, the boss got an online dating profile and embarrassed or something by it. So whenever I walked in, he would minimize his screen to the desktop. So he'd just be staring at the desktop, unmoving. Eventually he got over it and started asking us to come see what we thought of the women. It was an interesting yet fun job. It sounds like working at The Office, like the friggin' series The Office. My parents grounded me when I was 7 for eating a pudding cup and hiding it behind the pantry cabinet. I didn't freaking do it! I feel like sometime in the future, you're going to go back in time, eat the pudding cup, go to throw it into the trash, and it'll end up behind the pantry cabinet. Then you realize that you had done it all along and deserve to be punished. I'm sort of jealous right now. I always do the time machine scenario, but it never gets gilded. And why the heck would you go back in time to eat a pudding cup? God, is this what it feels like to be a hater? Yes, that's exactly what it feels like. I got a piece of spaghetti in my eye. Permanently damaged my cornea. A raw piece of spaghetti flew into my eye like 3 years ago and it damaged my eye. Hopefully you've gotten past it now. What a jerk. That kind of sucks. What an unfortunate event. That's just like my fear of dying in a really silly way and people just like trying to mourn my death and trying not to giggle at the same time. And I'm just like, When I was in my first year at school, at the ripe age of like 4, my class was going to our local church for an Easter sermon. Every kid was encouraged to get an item for food from their parents for donating for the homeless. I proudly came in with my tin of baked beans, my favorite junk to this day, and put it on the collection table. When it came time to head out to the church, everyone picked up their item to carry along, but all that was left was a tin of peas. As a kid, I freaking hated peas and demanded answers as to where my delicious beans had gone. This one kid, Andrew, was the one holding a tin of beans, and I lost my poop. I'm no snitch, but you bet I knocked on that mother effer. Did Miss McDonald give a F? No sir. She told me I must have gotten mixed up. Everyone backed her up because Andrew was popular and a bean thief. Then they called me a liar. It's been 21 years and I'm still pissed about having to carry those stupid peas down the street. Not that it mattered in the slightest because they were going to the same place, but there's a principle involved. My family didn't even eat peas. This reminds me of my first grade end of the year party. I brought this package of freaking awesome cookies, my favorite kind. My teacher said if our snack hadn't been opened by the end of the party, we could take it back home with us. So guess what? No one had touched my cookies. Heck yeah, brother. I was taking my cookies home. But I looked over and this little jerk Nicole was putting my cookies in her backpack. I ran over and told our teacher, but she insisted that Nicole would never steal someone else's cookies. She was the perfect teacher's pet. No one believed me. I had a grudge against her for seriously the rest of the school career. Teacher's pet was my class's valedictorian, and I remember seeing her on stage at graduation thinking, that freaking bee. God dang, those are some deep stories from freaking 4 and 1st grade. They remember those in perfect detail. I met Mandy Moore as a kid. She was shopping with her mom at Costco. It was a long time ago when she just started her music career. I told this story in a class and the teacher said, no celebrity shops at Costco. This story is a lie. So I got in trouble and humiliated. Freak you, Mr. Sweeney. Who the heck is Mandy Moore? What the who? No. I have no clue who that is. My grandfather was a field agent during Cold War and managed to never tell his family. He spoke 9 different languages. The day he died, $750,000 appeared in my bank account under my grandmother's name. My father said as a child, when they returned to the country, they never went through customs. He was a pastor of a Baptist church in Tennessee and often claimed to go to Africa on mission. Turns out he was spying on communists. We've since found invitations from President Carter asking him to accept a medal in DC, to which my grandfather declined so he could preach on Sunday. Oh my goodness. A spy and a pastor. Well, $750,000. That's nice. No one believes I'm Filipino because the Irish part of me is pale AF. Is the FBI in your username Filipino but Irish? Well, creative guy. Once my mom brought a bag of honey mustard pretzels and someone in my family ate the whole bag. My parents believed it was me because I loved honey mustard pretzels. But it wasn't me. I didn't even get a little bit. Wow, that sucks. That just sounds like some petty drama. In 5th grade, I had to draw a monster for school. I drew a red monster with 4 arms shown in profile. The teacher was convinced I had intentionally drawn a penis, then changed it into an arm. They made me draw a new picture. I think I cried about it. Wow, that's terrible. That poor kid. That probably could have been me as a kid because I was so innocent and didn't really know anything like that. When I was 13, I got a chipmunk stuck on my trombone while practicing at home. My cat brought a chipmunk in, dropped it at my feet, and it ran up the bell. I've got pictures to prove it and nobody believes them and says they're photoshopped. Chipmunk in my trombone sounds like a metaphor for something, not sure what. What a weird story. In jail, we had these homicide victims playing cards. It was a standard deck, and each card had a picture of a person who died in an unsolved homicide. One day, me and a couple other inmates had been playing the game of Tonk. One of the guys placed the Queen of Hearts face up on the table and said, "Dang, that bee is ugly." It took me a second, but I realized it was a picture of my mother. I had no idea she was on these cards. Needless to say, no one at that table believed me. Oh my god, that poor guy's mom. He said that bee is ugly. Hold up, I have so many questions. Why were you in jail? How did your mother die? What time is a peacock? Reckless driving? She was hit by a car? 12. Thank you guys again for watching this Ask Reddit video. No idea, but I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be short too. Thanks to the guys that had best wishes for my dog. She had her surgery, her extra surgery, where they had to cut off even more skin that died. But they stitched her up. They took her tubes out of her body that were like leaking pus and blood, which is disgusting. She's still in a little bit of pain, but she got some pain meds. I'm gonna show you guys what my dog looks like. This is her. Her name is Peanut. This is my other dog, Ponyo. She's a teacup chihuahua. She's like 3.5 pounds. But thank you guys again for watching this Ask Reddit video. If you have any suggestions for the video, just let me know. I want to make the best content of Reddit videos out there. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of June. So if you subscribe, I'll love you forever. Goodbye and thanks for watching.